So next problem is to find the condition that the pair of straight lines represented by ax square plus 2hxy plus by square equal to 0 may be a pair of conjugate diameters of the ellipse. So we want to see if we are considering this ellipse and this being the center, when we consider two pair of lines. See here as such we do not know these two are conjugate diameters. We are considering them as pair of straight lines passing through the origin. So the combined equation of this is usually given by this ax square plus 2hxy plus by square equal to 0. Small a, small b are used here, so we are using capital A and capital B. Now we are going to divide throughout by y square. Rather x square. We are going to divide throughout by x square so that we can rewrite this equation in this form. We have b y by x the whole square, then we are dividing throughout by x square. So 1x will get cancelled, giving just y by x here, and then here just a equal to 0. Now we will replace our y by x by m, so that this will become bm square plus 2hm plus a equal to 0. And being quadratic in m, it will have two roots, say m1 and m2. Now given quadratic equation, we know to find the sum of the roots and product of the roots. So sum of the roots is minus 2h by b, and product of the roots we have as a by b. Now if we want to have these two, so in the case of conjugate diameters, we know them to be lines passing through origin, and the condition for those two lines to be conjugate with respect to this ellipse is product of the slopes is minus b square by a square. So in order to have this OA and OB to be conjugate diameters, actually when we extend it, this is what we get. So just extend, so you have this. So these are the two conjugate diameters. If we have the slope of this to be say m1 and slope of this to be m2, then we know very well that m1 m2 is minus b square by a square. Condition for two diameters to be conjugate is that product of the slopes is minus b square by a square. So we have m1 m2 already to be a by b, and now that we have m1 m2 to be minus b square by a square. So we have we can consider both the equations. Product of the slopes in one case is this, in another case is this. So we can equate these two. So from this we get a by b is equal to minus b square by a square. So cross multiplying, we get a square equal to b minus of b square, or in other words we have a square plus b square equal to 0. So this is the condition for two lines to be. See, suppose for example I have x square by 4 plus y square by 9 equal to 1. This is the ellipse. So in this case my a square is 4 and b square is 9. And if we are given the two lines to be, say y is equal to 2x and y is equal to minus 2x. Now question now is, can we have these two lines? These two lines are obviously lines passing through the origin. Now the slope of this is m1 and slope of this is m2. Product of the slopes is minus 4. And here minus of b square by a square, when you compute, it is minus 9 by 4. So when you look at this and this, m1 m2 is equal to minus 4 here, and this is also m1 m2 only if we have that those two to be conjugate diameters. But obviously this minus 4 is not same as this. So in that case, can we have these two lines, even though they pass through the origin, can we have them to become conjugate diameters with respect to this ellipse? Means the answer is no. We cannot have it as this. On the other hand, if we consider instead of this ellipse, if we have considered x square by 1 plus y square by 4 equal to 1, then in that case we will have b square to be 4 and a square to be 1. So in that case we will have these two lines to be conjugate diameters with respect to this ellipse. With respect to this ellipse it is conjugate, whereas with respect to this these two lines are not conjugate. So next is, if P and Q are ends of a pair of semi-conjugate diameters, we consider CP and CQ to be semi-conjugate diameters and P and Q are the extremities. We are asked to show that the area of the triangle, this triangle CPQ, is constant. So we consider the point P, which is A cos theta, B sin theta, and this one Q is minus A sin theta, B cos theta. This Q is this. Now these are the ends. Now we know that whenever we are given a triangle with vertices, see, if we are having a triangle with vertices x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3, then we have the equation to be x1, x2, x1, y1, 1, x2, y2, 1, x3, y3, 1. Determinant of this, half of this will be the area. So in this case we have one point to be 0, 0. The other two, this is your C, and we shall take this as P and this as Q, so that we can substitute the values, and when we expand the determinant we get half into through this we will expand. So AB cos square theta minus of minus plus, so AB sin square theta, taking AB out, this is what we get. So that is half times AB. That is your area of triangle CPQ is constant. Now next problem is, if P and Q are ends of a pair of conjugate diameters of this ellipse, and if S is the focus, then we are asked to prove something, that is PQ square minus SP minus SQ the whole square is 2 times B square. So we consider P and Q to be the extremities of conjugate diameters of this ellipse. You consider this, and CP and CQ are conjugate diameters, conjugate semi-diameters rather. And if we have this to be theta, P of theta, and we know that this is pi by 2 plus theta, so we have got the coordinates of them. So it's purely distance formula that's used, because we know that S is AE, 0 focus, one of the foci. Using distance formula we have this. You have S to be this and P to be this one. So A cos theta minus AE the whole square plus B sin theta minus 0 the whole square. Then in this take A square, A will come out as A square, because we have the square over here, and cos theta minus E the whole square plus B square sin square theta. Now this is retained as such. This B square is replaced by A square into 1 minus E square in the case of an ellipse. Then in both A square is common, so taking that out, this is what we get. And if we actually expand this out, this is what we get, cos square theta plus E square, then plus multiplying these two, 1 minus cos square theta minus E square plus E square cos square theta. So we have cos square theta, this one and this one will get cancelled. Then we are left with 1 minus E square plus E square cos square theta. So if we consider E square cos square theta, this on expansion gives you E square cos square theta plus 1 minus 2E cos theta. So in this case we have cos square theta plus E square. This one is the cross term we have left, that is minus 2E cos theta. So E square cos square theta is here, and my e square and minus e square will also get cancelled. So this is what we have. 1 minus 2e cos theta plus e square cos square theta. So this is what is left. But obviously this is nothing but square root of 1 minus e cos theta the whole square. So you just get a into 1 minus e cos theta. So that is our SP, which we have already calculated. And here also we are calculating. And SQ in the same way. SQ in the same way, if you compute, you will get that as A into 1 plus E sin theta. Same distance formula is to be used here, and make use of the fact that B square is A square into 1 minus E square. Expand this out, and then so when you expand this, in this case E square and minus E square will get cancelled, and sine square theta minus sine square theta. So you're left with 2e sine theta 1 and e square sine square theta. So that is nothing but square root of 1 plus e sine theta the whole square. This a comes out as such, so that will be there throughout. And so this is what our SQ is. So we have already got SP, and now that we have this. So SP we had it as A into 1 minus e cos theta. A into 1 minus e cos theta. And this one is minus of A into 1 plus e sin theta. So when we simplify this, what we get is we have this one plus a and minus a will get cancelled, giving minus ae cos theta, and here minus ae sin theta. So ae when we take out, we have cos theta. This is SP minus SQ. So you have cos theta minus sin theta the whole square. Here this one minus. So PQ square already we have, again using distance formula we can calculate, even though we have calculated already. So minus a sin theta minus a cos theta the whole square, then b cos theta minus b sin theta the whole square is PQ square. So this on expansion and then on simplification gives this term a square cos theta plus sin theta the whole square, and this is cos theta minus sin theta the whole square. So PQ we have written, and here we have SP minus SQ the whole square as A square E square cos theta plus sin theta the whole square. SP is this and SQ is this. So you have cos theta minus, probably if we compute SQ minus SP, SQ is A into 1 plus E sin theta, and minus SP is A into 1 minus E cos theta. So in this case we can have E taking it out sin theta plus cos theta. So it is SQ minus SP that's computed, because anyhow we have to have the square of that. So it should be actually SQ minus SP. So in that case you will have plus. So throughout you have this cos theta plus sin theta the whole square. Otherwise, see, if you have that as such, then with the negative sign you will have. So let us have what is there already. See, when you have the square, actually you can have it as SP minus SQ or SQ minus SP. So in this case, when you compute this, you will have minus sign outside. So when you square it, that will go off. See, we have the same thing what is written already we will have. SP is we have SP to be A minus AE cos theta minus SQ. So it is minus of A into 1 plus E sin theta. So that means it is A minus AE cos theta minus A minus AE sin theta. Both of them are with the negative sign. So these two will get cancelled, giving minus of AE into cos theta plus sin theta. So SP minus SQ gives us this, and squaring that is what we have. And we want to show that PQ square minus SP minus SQ the whole square to be 2 times B squared. So that is what we are trying to prove. So for which you will have to consider them. Just substitute PQ square is computed here, just substitute, and this one is there already, so just write that, and then simplifying this further, cos theta plus sin theta the whole square here also we have, so A square minus A square E square you'll have, and plus B square into cos theta minus sin theta the whole square. But we know that this is A square into 1 minus E square, which is B square, so that is written as B square, and cos theta plus sin theta the whole square. Here also we have B square. So this being B square, we have this step, and taking B square out, this is what we have. Now we can expand this. So you have cos square theta plus sin square theta plus 2 sin theta cos theta, and here cos square theta plus sin square theta minus 2 sin theta cos theta. So this is what we have. So in this what we can do is sin square plus cos square gives us 1, and here again sin square plus cos square gives us 1, and these two will get cancelled. This is with the plus sign and the other one is with the negative sign. So we get this to be 2 times B square. So that is our RHS. Now we have this problem which is an important problem, this one and the next. If P and D are extremities of conjugate diameters, we are considering CP and CD to be conjugate diameters, in fact conjugate semi-diameters, and these are the extremities. We have to show that the locus of point of intersection of the tangents at P and D is something. So we know the coordinates of this point and coordinates of this point. Okay, so we can we also know that the equation of the tangent at any point x1 y1 on the ellipse is given by this y1 by b square equal to 1. Now if you want to know the equation of tangent at P, means you will have to just replace x1 y1 by a cos theta b sin theta. At Q means just replace x1 by minus a sin theta and y1 by b cos theta. So we have these two equations. So we have written the equation of the tangent at P and D. Rather P and Q, which means throughout we are using Q, means here in this statement we will change it P and Q. So the tangents at P and Q, and this point is P and Q. Nothing wrong, just it's only a notation. So we shall take R of x1 y1 to be the point of intersection of 1 and 2. We will consider R of x1 y1 to be the point of intersection of 1 and 2. Then it should satisfy both the equation. x1 y1 should be a point on line 1 as well as line 2. Now what we are going to do. So this is the technique to be remembered in this case, because up to this it will come as such. The flow is very easy only, but here this technique is to be remembered. We are going to square and add 3 and 4. So when we do so, what happens? We are going to square and add. So if you consider that, then you have x1 square by a square cos square theta, and here x1 square by a square sine square theta. So x1 square by a square, when it is taken out, sine square plus cos square theta you have, and same way here also you have. Then for the cross term, here 2x1 y1 ab sine theta cos theta, here minus 2x1 by a cos theta y1 by b sine theta, and on the right side you have this. So the cross terms will go off, and this being 1, we have x1 square by a square plus y1 square by b square equal to 2. This is 2. So we want to know the locus of r of x1 y1, and that is nothing but this. So locus of that will be again a concentric ellipse. We can just rewrite this as x square by 2a square, rather root 2a the whole square plus y square by root 2b the whole square equal to 1. So when we consider the likewise we can have other conjugate diameters, and then when we join them all, this is the locus, so you will get another ellipse like this, concentric ellipse will get.